A year after the global financial crisis exploded, President Barack Obama took his message to where it all began, Wall Street in New York. Obama gave his administration high marks for pulling banks and the entire economy out of a panic attack of epic proportions.
By opening and examining the books of large financial firms, we helped restore the availability of two things that had been in short supply: capital and confidence. By taking aggressive and innovative steps in credit markets, we spurred lending not just to banks, but to folks looking to buy homes or cars, take out student loans, or finance small businesses.
1 year ago this week, the Lehman Brothers bank filed for bankruptcy, at the time the biggest such filing in world history. Like many U.S. banks, its balance sheet was polluted with bad mortgages and related high-risk investments. In the ensuing crisis, banks simply refused to lend to each other, and so companies went bust, and millions of Americans then lost their jobs and their homes. And then power shifted from the high rollers here on Wall Street to the lender of last resort, the federal government, and to Washington, D.C., where panicking lawmakers tried to grab a hold of an economy in a state of self-destruction and to bring it under control. There hasn't been government help to the economy like this since World War II, with massive bank bailouts and stimulus money targeting the economy as a whole. But Obama pledged on Monday to wind that down.
I have always been a strong believer in the power of the free market. I believe that jobs are best created not by government, but by businesses and entrepreneurs willing to take a risk on a good idea. I believe that the role of the government is not to disparage wealth, but to expand its reach.
This lawyer helps Wall Street CEOs get bailout money and says they've gone cap in hand to the government reluctantly.
People who are used to dealing in the private sector without government involvement or interference are not particularly thrilled with government involvement. However, it's a sheer fact of the situation that we're in that emergency steps by the government, I believe, were required.
But more such steps may be required, say the experts. The toxic debt that helped start the crisis still hasn't been disposed of. And there's a risk that the initial crisis in the residential housing market will spread to the big business of commercial real estate and loans as large as the skyscrapers of New York.